As we moved on to the Italian Grand Prix, the arguments were still going on about the various exclusions and incidents.
We would like your point of view on the result of the last affair in Paris.
Well, last affair for us was full satisfaction what the World Council done. Benetton was called this year twice in the World Council. For twice was not guilty, and was a lot of speculation in our name, in our team, but I believe this clear up everything, and I'm quite happy about the result, and quite happy about in the way Mr. Mose handled this subject. And honestly, now is important for us winning this world champion.
The same report that was available to the FIA was also made available to us, stated that this function was set to a 0 value, which means that it was inoperative.
The two team managers of the two rival teams talking about the fact that there had been arguments about the use of traction control and other systems that should have been banned for the 1994 season. In fact, the FIA managed to sort out the problems and there was no further action taken. But certainly rumblings throughout the year that some of the cars were not what they should have been. And so on to Monza, and on the Sunday morning warm-up, a big accident for Austrian driver Gerhard Berger in the Tifosi's beloved Ferrari. Berger going off at somewhere near 200 kilometres an hour and certainly having the wind knocked out of his sails. Disappointingly, the warm-up session itself was not stopped and cars continued to come round at speed whilst the marshals and Berger tried to get out of the way. Many drivers expressed their amazement at this course of events after what had happened earlier in the year. Despite it all, though, the Austrian was back on the grid 4 hours later, astounding everybody with his resilience and his ability to come back from disaster. The front line is fully Ferrari as they set off at the start of the race, and it's a race which sees the highest and lowest of fortunes for the Lotus team. Johnny Herbert, qualifying in 4th place, would go out, taken out by Eddie Irvine at the first chicane. It was to prove to be such a difficult year for Lotus all the way through, and with the end of the season, the news that the Lotus team having to lay off its workforce in an attempt to try and get everything up and running again for 1995. Let's hope that Lotus will be back next year and that they can get over the problems of this season, because otherwise a great name from Formula One will be lost. Well, on to the restart, and the two Ferraris once again trying to get away first. Jean Alesi from his first ever pole position. Problems straight away though, with several cars flying off the circuit once more. And out front, Jean Alesi is able to extend the lead. Gerhard Berger in 2nd place, dropping to over 8 seconds behind, as Alesi continues the charge and continues to enthrall the Italian fans. Behind the two Ferraris are the two Williams. Damon Hill ahead of David Coulthard, but there'd been dramas for both of them before the start of the race, and Damon Hill was ended up in the spare car. The first pit stop, Jean Alesi in, still leading the race, but suddenly the Ferrari was going no further. A gear would not engage from the Ferrari, and Alesi was left to sit in the pit lane and curse his luck once again. Yet to win a Grand Prix, the Frenchman, who is always spectacular to watch, was once again out of the running. It was a cruel blow for both him and for the team and for the Italian fans, who above all else wanted to see a Ferrari win at Monza. Well, there was still a chance because Gerhard Berger had now taken over the lead of the race, and it didn't seem to be affecting him too much, the fact that he had a fairly stiff neck from the earlier morning accident. Heinz-Harald Frentzen withdrawing on his 22nd lap, and Berger into the pits, but very nearly getting involved in an incident with Olivier Panis. That cost the Ferrari driver some time, and as he came back out, it turned out he was behind the Williams pairing of Hill and Coulthard. Berger there in third position, and after him it was the McLaren Peugeot of Mika Hakkinen, being chased by Rubens Barrichello and Martin Brundle. The Williams car's looking very good indeed, and it looks as though we're going to see a 1-2 result for the first time since midway through 1993. But it's not to be. David Coulthard, in the car that Damon Hill was originally set to run in the race itself, runs out of fuel on the very last corner. He's passed by Berger, he's passed by Hakkinen and Barrichello. Coulthard having to make do with just 6th place at the end of the race. So Hill the winner, Berger in 2nd place, and Hakkinen taking the 3rd place on the podium. Vital success for Damon Hill in the absence of Michael Schumacher, with the first of his 2 race bans. Hill had done the first job. Could he do it again at the next race and really take the battle to Schumacher in the title?